Hi guys, this is MabiWild, and today, for episode 4, we'll be talking about the Imps of Mabinogi. If you've always wanted to know more about the wildlife in Mabinogi, this is the series for you. To begin, we've got to ask the first question to familiarize you with the topic creature. What do the imps look like? They may be small, but boy are they memorable once you see them. Starting with the release of the game on March 27th, 2008, we have the original trio of imps. The Imp, Banner Imp, and Giant Imp. It's funny how the Giant Imp happens to be the boss since most imps are so tiny. Shortly after the trio came the Invisible Imp, which was added with Generation 2 on May 15th, 2008. Of course, it was odd to even take a picture of this one. Coming out with Generation 3 on August 21st, 2008 was the Arena Imp and the Skeleton Imp. A fun fact about the Skeleton Imp is that it speaks to you in Spanish. Within the Pioneers of Area updates starting on February 20th, 2009 came the Stone Imp and the Snow Imp. A couple years later with Generation 15 on October 26th, 2011 came the Bandit Imps. The Bandit Imps were given a much more different appearance than the classic Imp. The Imp Mages that show up in the Grandmaster missions were then added, however, it was hard to find out which of the two Grandmaster updates they were added with. So if anyone remembers seeing them when Grandmasters were originally added, please let us know in the comments. Finally, on July 16th, 2020, we were introduced to the Bet-loving Giant Imp and the Greedy Imp with the PET updates. Our next question is a wonderful follow-up. Where can you find the imps? Let's go take a look at the imps that I'm currently able to show you. So first, at northwest of Dunbarton, on the Dunbarton map, northwest, you will find the regular imp. Yeah, he just got mad at me. Is he gonna attack me? I think he is. Oh, maybe not. He's just a little scared of me. Next, in Bari Normal, we have the Banner Imps. I think they're a little more rare than usual, but they might not be. I might be wrong on that, but they look just like the regular imps. As you can see, or maybe not see because they're invisible, the Invisible Imps are in Coil Normal. For the next imp, we are going to have to transform. And then we can enter. So when we get in here, let's go over to this side. And you can see that we have we have one Ancient Imp and another imp over here. These are the Arena Imps. In Karu Normal, you can see that we have the Stone Imps. They come quite fairly later on in the dungeon, so don't be worried if you don't see them right away. And last but not least, we have the Snow Imps. I find them the most adorable of the bunch. As you can see, they have their little things that they carry. I think it's ice on their backs that they're carrying. It's adorable. Not all of them have this though. I think there are some that have black cloaks, that they don't have the little basket on the back with the ice. The imps are so small and common that you may just wonder, what purpose does the imp fulfill? When you're first starting the game, these creatures are used as a great beginner opponent, and when you get further into Mabinogi, they become a more difficult opponent within Magmal. Alongside being an opponent, it is always entertaining to read what they have to say, and they're of course used within the tests for Grandmaster missions. Now, what reputation does the imp have? It was intriguing to study this part most of all. There is a book that you can read with the title Imp's Diary, where, along with some silly remarks, you find that they have a possible rivalry with ogres, probably due to some sort of jealousy, and that they don't seem to really like the wolves very much since they tend to steal potions from them. If we take a look at their reputation with humans, it can be good or bad. Generally, the imps love to play pranks on them. However, there are some friendly NPC imps such as the Commerce Imps and Barker Imp from the old event called Imps Dreamland. As for the community's thoughts on the imps, I've gone around to ask some players what they think. What do you think about the imps? Feel free to tell me in the comments. At this point, you must be wondering, are the imps domesticated? They're too darn cute not to be. Let's begin by showing you my Lava Walker imp. This little guy was added alongside the Jungle Scout imp on September 8th, 2010. Sometime in August 2012, the Warp imp was added. These guys were and still continue to have a very important skill called Pet Teleport. Essentially, this skill allows you to teleport to a saved location if you also use the skill called Save Location. On May 27th, 2016, we were introduced to the Scooter Imp, which, at the time, was one of the best pets to have in the game. Subsequently, there were different versions of the original Imp Pets added, such as the Band Warp Imp on September 28th, 2017, and the Vacation Scooter Imp on July 16th, 2020. If there are more versions of the Imp Pets that I didn't mention, feel free to let us know in the comments. Let's get into our last question. Are there any accessories? Despite the familiarity of imps within the years of Mabinogi, there aren't many items that can be put in this category. We have the Goggle Cap, you could receive by creating the Lava or Jungle Imp Pets. The Winged Wizard Hat, you could receive from creating the Warp Imp Pet. Fashion Goggles, you could receive from the Imps Dreamland event. And the only imp-themed second title, Merchant Imp. That's all we have for this episode of MabiWild. If there was any incorrect information given at any point, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'd also like to make sure to thank the Mabinogi World Wiki for providing us with a large chunk of the game's trivia and history. Take care, everyone!